Ladies and gentlemen, I am back and I have good news. Last month, in June 25th, there was a radio show in France, and there was an interview with the creators from Yo, and they said that we might be getting a new season of Yo. Yes, I am super excited. So, in case you're wondering, what is Yo? Well, Yo is a French TV show that is created by two people named Thomas Romain and Talia Lenoir. And they both worked at a film school together, and they made a skit called Kids Making a Movie. Then it got turned into a pilot called You Watch Kids, which is basically Yo before it came out. It was basically like the same thing, except Lyoko was named something else, which was Xanadu. And Odd's one of the characters, by the way. Odd was mostly the main character. And instead of them only heaping their powers into video game, they had heaped their powers into real world. But the pilot became a huge flop, and it was originally supposed to have 26 episodes. But then they went back to the drawing board, and that's how Yo was made. So what is Yo? Well, Yo is a TV show about 4 kids going into the computer. It's basically a video game of kids going inside of a video game to save the world by fighting random monsters like cubes, crabs, some little potato enemies, sometimes manta rays, and other types of aliens and monsters. And there are 4 sections in the game, which is a forest section, a Rocky Mountain section, a desert section, and a snow section. And there's a 5th section in Season 2 called Sector 5, which is basically, if I had to describe it, it's basically the tutorial stages from the original Spider-Man game from 2002. That's the vibe I'm getting. But anyways, so Yo was aired in a couple of networks in France. But in America, back in 2004, it was debuted on Cartoon Network in an afternoon block. It's about 4 kids. Their names are Odd, Olet, Yumi, and Jeremy. And Jeremy went to this factory to go find parts to complete a science project until he discovered the computer to Yo, and he turned it on, and he sees what's supposed to be an AI, which is basically a human later on in the series, Aelita. And they also released this virus called Xana that possesses everything. Like, it possesses the levels, sometimes weapons, like bombs. Sometimes it possesses animals, and sometimes it also possesses humans. And to be honest, I actually really liked this show growing up as a kid. And in case you're wondering, did I see this show when I was a kid? Yes, I was. I think I only saw like the first 2 seasons. I think I saw like 1 episode of season 4 and probably like a couple of episodes of season 3. I don't remember. But anyways, it did have a live action show in 2014. But in case you're wondering, I did not watch the live action show in 2014, and plus, it was mostly kept in France. And I have seen some episodes on YouTube. You can easily find Yo on YouTube on their YouTube channel. But anyways, the live action series, it's meh. I mean, I think the acting is a little bit okay, but to be honest, I think the animation's okay. It's just that some of the acting's really bad. I only saw a little bit of it, and some of the acting is really bad, in my opinion. But anyways, So who are the hero tools? Well, it's about, like I said, Jomi, Yumi, Adenowit, and they go to a boarding school, which is called Hated Academy. That's the actual name. Please do not demonetize me, YouTube. I'm not trying to be inappropriate. That's just the name of the school in the show. And right next to the school, Hated Academy, is a factory that homes a supercomputer. So both Jomi, Yumi, Odd, Olet, and Aelita try to save the world by beating up monsters and deactivating these towers. These towers are connected to both the supercomputer and the real world. And in order to deactivate them, only Aelita can go inside these towers and deactivate the code, and that's how every episode is. They did get a new recruit. His name is William, and he gets possessed. Right, he becomes a minion of Xana, and in later seasons, which is season 4, the final season, I think it was a good idea to let him in the team, so they would have like another obstacle to go through in the show. But anyways, in the second to last final episode, they saved William by defeating Xana, and they shut down the supercomputer. There are 2 ways to start this show if you want to watch it for the first time. I will start at the end of season 3, which is the origin of the show, like how the characters meet and stuff. Or you start by season 1, episode 1, the actual pilot, which is Teddy Godzilla. But to be honest, I mostly prefer if you start doing the 2 origin episodes first, so you won't get lost. I think it makes sense if you do. But anyways, I'm really excited. If there is going to be a 5th season of Hyoryo, no, Evolution does not count. If there is going to be a 5th season of Hyoryo, then I have some predictions that I think should be in the show. Number 1, new recruits. Kind of makes sense to have new recruits of the show because how long are you going to keep the factory a secret? That's a really good question. In order to keep the factory a secret, the main characters, like, they do mostly, like, screw over the secret, like, introducing, like, a new person inside of it, but they still keep it by erasing their memories by having, by activating a code that returns the, situation that happens in the beginning of the episode, like, to go back to the past, and everything turns, back to normal. The only thing that is different is that Xana doesn't possess or ruins everything. But anyways, new recruits. Gonna make sense to have new recruits because pretty sure we might get other people who want to go into the factory and probably see what's up. Most people think that Elizabeth should be a lyoko warrior, which, yeah, I think if they're gonna go this way, then I'm pretty sure it should happen. Or how about this? What if there was a time skip? Because Hyoryo, the actual show, takes place in, well, it debuted 2003. And I don't mind if the show has a time skip which shows the target audience that the characters were with the fans who watched the show. And it would make sense because what if they had, like, kids of their own or too busy, like, cannot do the factory, and we get introduced by their own kids? That would be a good idea. Plus, it will give, like, today's audience knowledge of what the original show was supposed to be back in the early 2000s. If they do go back to Lyoko, like, if the new characters get introduced into Lyoko, pretty sure there should be, like, new environments. I'm pretty sure there's still going to be going to the desert, the tundra, the Rocky Mountains, and other locations. Anyways, Um, it'll make sense to introduce like new monsters, probably like new vehicles or new types of weapons to sell for merchandise for the new Hummels who's watching Yo for the first time. But I'm pretty sure that's a good idea. Anyways, that's all I have to say about Yo, guys. I hope season 5 is coming soon. If I had to predict when it's going to come out, maybe it will, because to be honest, even though that they announced that there's going to be a season 5 of Yo, it might though having a little bit of trouble because the original company, Moonscoop, that produces the show and stuff, that company is bankrupt, so there might be like some serious stuff that they need to do first before they winglet a season 5 of Yo. But if it does happen, I'm so excited. Maybe it will. Who knows? Maybe it won't. But I'm still excited otherwise. And will it be streamed? I'm pretty sure it's going to be streamed in any apps. It kind of makes sense to put it on YouTube because most of the show is on YouTube anyway. I don't see it like on either Hulu, Disney, or whatever. Just it kind of makes sense to keep it on YouTube with all the other series. But anyways, alright guys, I hope you have an amazing night tonight. I am Danny Ribala. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Next time, we just got an announcement for My Little Pony Generation 6. Stay tuned. Always be a champion. I'm so excited for Yo. Always be a champion. And let's make evil go away. Oh yeah, the theme song's awesome. You should listen to it. Anyways, always be a champion. I'm out.